It's time.
All right, here we go.
The Cocktail Show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Wow.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail Show.
Garry.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Garry.
But wait, there's more.
I'm the guy.
Finger guns.
Garry Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
This is the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour.
Live.
Cocktails. Woo, drinks.
Are you ready? Everybody, now welcome to the show. It's a crazy delight. Gary's got the wheel, and Leslie's the co-pilot. Alan's in the booth, keeping things on track. With Ryan on deck, you'll never look back.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
On Friday, the 25th of April, 2025. And of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. Now, since we're getting ready to close out April, that's right, we're halfway to Halloween. Around my neighborhood, folks start celebrating with Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party on select nights starting in August at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Based on past years, tickets for those after-hours parties should go on sale very soon. So be like Frank and Garry and start planning your costume now with us here on
The GarrForceLIVE YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForceLIVE YouTube channel.
Join the GarrForce. It's insanity.
All of the past editions of the Cocktail Hour can be replayed on the GarrForceLIVE YouTube channel.
Please like and share the show on all the social media channels.
Comments during the live show, wherever we are streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio
And we may show them on the screen.
and or talk about them.
Thank you for your attention.
Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live!
Live. Here we go.
Are you ready? Everybody? Crazy fun, zero refunds. Crazy fun, zero refunds.
Boom. Shakalaka.
Thank you, Todd Pickering, the Puerto Rican doorbell of the show. That live. That's the Puerto Rican doorbell. That, if you don't know, is when, at least when I was a kid, you didn't go to the door when you went to your friend's house. You just rode up on your bike and yelled out that person's name. That's a Puerto Rican doorbell. All right, let me kick the tires, light them up, Alan. Thank you. And one more sequence, as we all know by now, has to happen on Friday before we are wheels up, and that would be Leslie removing the cat from her lap and the condom from her wine bottle.
Where are the kitties? I don't know where the kitties
Well,
are.
it's been removed.
I'm looking for the kitty. It's not
Is your
here.
kitty not there? Okay, good.
I'll find it. Anyway, trying
take a look.
something new today. Vigilance. I think I might have had this on a previous show, but it was on sale at Binny's, so I can't turn down a good deal. Made here in the US of A, so no tariffs involved.
Okay, good to know. How much would a bottle like that cost?
I believe this was on. It's like an $11.99 bottle of wine on sale for $7.99.
There you go. 97% of all wine sold in this country is under $12. 97%. So you're in the wheelhouse.
Actually, 97% of the wine I drink is under $10. Isn't that fascinating?
You're in a very large club.
Anyway, so here we go.
Here we go. Oh, it just kind of dropped.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it had a nice pop. It had the, like when you put your finger in your cheek.
Cheers, everybody.
We don't do that too much as an adult, do we?
You don't do that anymore? You used to do it a lot?
I haven't done it in a while. But now I want to do it a lot.
You got a nice pop there. Well, here's to
It's like my condom.
another good weekend. Got a good weekend
Cheers,
for you.
everybody.
There's a Luxardo cherry on the bottom of this with my name on it. And in an hour, I'm going to have that. So before we went live, Leslie was entertaining us with that, and I can't get it out of. It's a worm now. That Ted Kennedy jig that we were talking about earlier this week.
And Ryan ran into somebody who has something comparable on a plate in their home. But I was looking for the version that I know, and it's not the one that's online. The one I know actually,
there's some very politically incorrect words in this that you can't. I mean, you could do it on a podcast on the internet, but it wouldn't fit so nicely with the quorum we have here.
I do it, but with a warning for our more sensitive listeners.
No, it'll come back to haunt us somehow.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute.
Ryan Zuckerberg is going, or Matt, or Bill Gates, or somebody's going to say, yeah, you know what, community standards. But here's a picture of two girls doing something really obscene.
Yeah, it's all inconsistent. You said Ryan showed you something where the lyrics are on a plate. Did I hear that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
What is that on a plate?
Ryan? Is Ryan
commemorative
here?
Plate?
So I was at a friend's house, and she's said the best president was Ike, and then she got into a rant about RFK Jr. and said, "Oh, do you know this thing that they say about the Kennedys?" And I said, "No." And then she has a plate on the wall by her kitchen that has that jig from the internet on it.
Oh, that's great.
Ted Kennedy
nice.
Jig.
That's nice to have in your kitchen.
Yes, and it's one of those old, the plates where you mount on the wall that has the holder.
Forget Norman Rockwell or something that says, bless this mess, or
Home Sweet Home.
Give us this day our daily bread. Those sort of things.
Yes,
Nope.
and I think I think it said Ted Kennedy's song. They said it was a song.
So that might be different than right.
Yeah.
So you did, Ryan. You didn't see the lyrics.
I saw the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I saw those lyrics.
They're not the same as what Leslie's singing.
No.
Is this one? It's as mean as what Leslie is singing.
It's mean, but leaves out the two words that make us cringe.
Yeah.
And that's not drunk, crook, or
float.
So
yeah, okay. And when I was talking pre-live, I said to Ryan, "Had you ever heard of Eggs Danny Thomas style?" Because that's what I thought of when Leslie started this jig thing, because I had never heard it, and then I heard the lyric. Oh my god! And then Ryan said no, but that's all over the internet too.
No, I only heard it from Gary Meier's show. That's how I learned.
Well, did you hear it when you were coming home from the hospital as an infant?
I was in '78.
Yeah. Ryan likes to bring up the fact that when his parents were bringing him home from the hospital after his birth, I was on the all-night show at this station
doing
in
that
Chicago.
little clip that we like to play here.
Yeah.
So, question: are all parties involved in Eggs Danny Thomas style have passed away? Correct.
Well, the only one you would know is
Danny Thomas.
Danny, right?
But who originally told you?
Okay, this is how
Eddie Schwartz told you, Gary.
No. Before the internet, it was all of this. One person tells another person, and when I was a child, the Dunkin' Yo-Yo salesmen crisscrossed the country, and we assumed that they spread these rumors. But this one was told to my partner and I by a friend of ours who was a friend with one of the Chicago Cubs, and baseball players seem to have a lot of crazy, weird crap going on. And that's how it started in our circle. This baseball player either witnessed it or heard from somebody, and then he told his friend, our friend, and then we talked about it on the radio. And this is before the internet.
It in a hotel, correct?
It's a glass coffee table.
Oh, coffee table. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, glass coffee table, and a lady of the evening, shall we say?
Yeah.
And off you go. And here's the thing. I mean, St. Jude's Hospital's doing God's work, and you hate to see Danny associated with this, but that's showbiz.
I've got a couch downstairs that Marlo sat on. That's its claim to fame.
Seriously.
It was the couch from the WGN green room before
Oh,
they
because
did
I had
some-
her on the show.
Yep.
And
she was in the green room. And I mean, authors and Secret Service agents, all sorts of people have sat on the couch that is currently in my home.
That have dimpled your couch.
Which makes me kind of sad to think about getting rid of it. It's like that thing's got history and DNA, possibly.
Do you have any reason to get rid of it right now?
It's seeing aged.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I learned when I had Marlo on, her family still owns 41% of the Andy Griffith Show because Danny produced various shows, the Andy Griffith Show being one of them. And that thing, as you know, if you turn your TV on at all during the day, is running all the time. Yeah. So 41% of that has to be a nice check in the mailbox.
Well, she's still getting all that Phil Donahue money too. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm sure he made a good amount when he was doing his shows.
Back in those days, yeah, that was quite popular.
And then she had that TV series, That Girl, in the 60s. She was doing some stuff there, and she did movies, made for TV movies. I don't know if she was on the big screen, but listen, I'll live off the Andy Griffith money. Just give me that.
Yeah, that alone should help you make ends meet. Yeah.
All right. We're doing some drinking here, and we're hoping you're not on the Yam Yam, the White Palace, the Devil's Baking Soda. Start with booze and see if that does it. And I hope you don't have to go to that other stuff.
Although I just read one of those articles that I sometimes feel is being directed right to me in the same way my sister and I were talking about a pair of shoes. And God diggity dang, if that shoe isn't showing up on every search. I mean, it's like always one of those pop-ups in the corner.
What do you
We were
mean?
talking, she liked these black espadrilles, and I'm like, oh, something, and she showed me a picture, and I went, oh, like this. And now every time I'm on the interwebs, I'm getting a push for those black espadrilles. It's like, I'm not buying them. She bought them, and she already bought them. So we don't need these anymore.
Why
Please
are you
leave
getting
them.
hit? Did you look at them on your
Because I
site?
talked to her about it. Yeah, she showed me a picture.
Well, and the
And that's
computer's
all it
on,
takes.
taking all of our information all the time. That's why when I'm not using it, I turn it off, put it in a garbage bag, and put it under the porch. This thing is stealing our soul.
So now it's sending you pushes for new porch flooring. Hey, have you thought of Trex decking? It might be the way to
Right,
go.
right. I heard you talk about a porch. Are you looking for a new porch?
How about a barbecue grill? You can put that on your porch because I'm under here and I recognize
Just wait. The raccoons will get to it and start pushing you notices for raccoon chow.
I was in Encino, California several weeks ago. I get home, and about a week later, I'm getting pops for this senior citizen living in Encino. And how did they know?
Ouch.
Really? That's how
Yeah.
scary all this is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, really, I wasn't in Encino before that. And I'm in there, and then a week later, I'm getting stuff from Encino. So they just pick up your vibe, your signal, and go, he must be here. He might need senior living. I don't know. Let's give it a shot.
And our algorithms tell us he's a man of a certain age and
Yes.
perhaps thinking of
Yes.
senior living.
Yes. Maybe he'd like a bathtub where the door opens on the side. If that's something you would be interested in.
Those things are very expensive, and a friend of mine is trying to sell a house right now and finding out that it does not improve the value of a home.
Well, if it's younger people looking at it, they think, oh, this is an old folks type house. And
Yeah. Not to mention, I think you need like at least a 50 to 75 gallon hot water heater to fill the thing up. And it's so problematic.
oh, really? They're very deep?
Yeah. And so here's the problem with those things. They look great in the commercials. They always sell them to older people because look, they're luxuriating in this bath and it's beating away all their aches and pains. Problem is, you have to sit inside the tub close the door now and
Oh,
lock
that's right.
it so
You
that it's
can't.
sealed.
Why can't?
And
Oh, that's right. You
now
can't
it
run the
starts-
water until you're in there and sealed up.
Bingo. So now it's got to fill up, fill up, fill up. They're supposedly improving the quick fills and the extra heaters. And same thing with the draining of said tub. So here's this little, I think of like when I had to bathe my mom, and here's this little 92-pound woman freezing her ass off while they try and fill the tub up. Yeah,
And then
don't waste
she has
your
to
money.
wait until you drain it to take her out.
So you can get her out. If there's a fire, sorry, duck down, take a couple of breaths, bob your head, and yeah, maybe you'll survive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's I never thought about it like that, but now I will. Are you ready to go to the?
Now we are.
Do it.
It was close.
And Ellen said that there's no Keelianne this week. That's not good. She usually starts it off. A rare.
Okay, I'm hearing about a lot of people there's some sort of ick going around right now.
I'm missing Keelianne. Okay, well, we'll hope she's in okay shape. We've already lost one member in the last couple of weeks. We can't afford to be losing any more here. Doggy boy, Matt, gone. And I said to Leslie, I said, as much as he was right on us all the time about all the mistakes, which at some point you go, yeah, okay. And I like being corrected. I don't like things lingering that are wrong.
If we're incorrect, I've never understood people who get all bent out of shape when they're corrected. I want to be correct.
Yeah. And he did. And now that he's gone, I'm like, oh, nobody's correcting anything.
What if we say something, we mispronounce something or misspell something? Yeah.
Martin here every week from BC. He hasn't missed any week that I can remember. And Brian from the house bands who support our music playing on the GarrForce. He got a new 4K TV. Looking forward to seeing some high def schnauzer. I don't need any more definition. I mean, I like low definition. As you age,
that's why I told you before the show, we only stream in 720p. If he wants high def schnauzer, he's going to have to find it elsewhere.
So it won't be
and generally,
magnified.
Your schnauzer always looks better with that kind of Vaseline.
Vaseline is good.
On the camera, that
got it.
But on top of that, you know what else looks good is a new Bon Journey T-shirt, and we're going to be giving one away later on in the show.
Later. And Bon Journey will be at the Sundance Saloon May 3rd in Mundelein, Illinois. Go see those guys perform. It's a treat. May 3rd. All right, where were we?
So talented.
David R. in Iowa City. The schnauzers here are just like home, but with a corny sense of humor.
Oh, very nice. Right. That's so Iowa.
Doesn't David live in Oak Lawn, Illinois, if I remember correctly? He must be visiting. Kim, Greg, I'm back and I'm beautiful. Did you miss me? Yes, we did.
We did.
We always miss the regulars.
Greg, one of our benefactors for the show swag that we give away. What the hell is wrong with my shirt?
Wheatfield, Indiana, where my friend Jim Foster said that they like ketchup on their hot dogs. That's an Indiana thing. Samantha, she goes mocktail.
Doing her mocktail? Yep, there she is.
Orange juice and cranberry juice. That's fine, whatever. And Mark, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Too cold to go Commando. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
This is that time of year when you really should carry like 3 changes of clothes to get through a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You winter coat in the morning, and then you're into
T-shirt in the afternoon,
weather, and
shorts in the evening. Yeah. The 2 seasons fighting each other. Kevin D. from Northwest Indiana. Hello. Catherine, here all the time. We love her. Mike and Pat, Lake Barrington. Hello.
Oh, I hope they were winners a couple of weeks ago, so they should have their prize package by now.
Bill from Glendale, AZ. What's the temperature there now? 95? What's it in Central Florida, Alan?
We're currently at 85 degrees and sunny.
85, and it's only April.
Oh, that's sweater weather down there. Yeah.
Queen Creek, Arizona, dedicating today's Martini Friday to Mongo, who's throwing quite the bash with sweetness. I take comfort in knowing Virginia was not invited. Okay, that's all the Chicago Bears reference. This player died this week, Steve McMichael. And sweetness, Walter Payton. Virginia McCaskey was the team owner until a few weeks ago when she died at the too soon, 102. I had some encounters with Steve McMichael.
And a lot of people were asking about that prior to the show. What's what?
Well, two different, I had a number of them, but the ones that really stick out are when he pulled a knife on me and a gun on me at two different occasions. He said I was looking at his wife, and I'm thinking, even if that's the case, let's just say, even if that's the case, wouldn't that be a compliment?
Let's go to the mall. She was the one, they used to do this commercial. Let's go to the mall.
Let's go to the mall. And then one time, no weapon, but he grabbed me by my collar and he was choking me to the point where I almost passed out. This guy was a brick wall with a head on it.
And a very volatile brick wall at
Apparently,
that.
yes. And the
caused
gun
some damage at your partner's house, I recall.
Right. My partner and I, we did this New Year's Eve show, and Steve was invited, and Joe Walsh was there, and Steve pulled a gun on Joe Walsh.
Oh, that.
So he's in that club.
But he had been sick for a long
Yeah,
time.
about 4 years with ALS.
Or
One of those bad ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was bad.
Yeah, and so the gun incident, we were at a charity event. Everybody's minding their manners.
Everybody pecks.
And so Steve makes his way to me and he goes, "Hey, if I catch you looking at my wife," and he pulled out this Derringer and flashed it in front of me. And I'm like, "Steve, okay, I'm not looking at your wife. And if I was, isn't that a compliment?"
Did he?
I don't know.
Did you see
It's hard
like
to
a
read
light
some.
bulb go off and him go? Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
how to
wait.
read certain people if they're joking. I had this encounter with Rush Limbaugh where he said his bodyguards were going to beat me up, and I thought, ha ha ha, but he wasn't laughing. So I don't know what's going on anymore.
But from what I know about weaponry, the Derringer really, you got to be up close.
And he was.
Really,
He was 2 feet from me.
Oh well, then that's still killing distance. Yeah.
Oh my God, really? So then after Steve pulled a gun on Joe Walsh, Joe went and sat in his limousine for most of the show, and we had a hard time getting him out. As you could imagine, if you've been threatened with a gun.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't
really?
think they teach that at NRA classes usually.
Who else do we have here? Bill. Okay. It's Mongo. That's his nickname. Sue from Naples, FLA, 84. Looks like the state is basking in the 80s. And Michael from San Antonio, requesting that the pilots not use Google Maps during the flight. Leslie had a story about this couple that drove off a bridge following Google Maps.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of cockpits and aviation, I saw this show the other day. You know who this Nathan Fielder is? He's an actor, producer. He's multi. And he's doing this show. And the part that I saw, he went through all these aviation disasters, and then he sat down with an aviation expert, and he's going through these disasters. And one of the things that kept coming up, when the co-pilot thinks the pilot is doing something wrong and putting the plane in danger, the pilot overrules the co-pilot and end up crashing. And the pilot has complete control, even if things are going sideways. And I don't like that. I want the co-pilot to say, wait a minute, the runway's over here, and you should take a look. And all these things that Nathan brought up, they didn't do it, and they crashed because the pilot rules the roost in there.
Well, you got to have somebody in charge. You don't want the flight attendants going in and saying,
Okay,
you know what,
but
I think we need to.
Leslie, it's the co-pilot. That's not the flight attendant. the co-pilot. That's why you have the yin and the yang in the cockpit. You want somebody to go, wait a minute, just to have a discussion, maybe.
Well, but you can't have them wrestling in there either.
Well, hey, and that's what he was pointing out. You should at least look at what the co-pilot is saying instead of crashing.
I always think of that one Russian disaster. If the pilot puts his son on his lap and gives him the controls, that's not a good thing either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want
Somebody
any
should.
visitors besides the flight attendant bringing in coffee or something. That's it.
So, Timmy, do you like gladiator movies?
Yes. You ever seen a grown man naked, Timmy? Did I see, you didn't have this on our opening, Alan, but you had it where you had the Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune board up. That wasn't on the show, right?
Well, there is a moment of it when the AI sings "Alan's on the board." This is one of the many images I've hidden on the board in that scene. This is from a bit we did a couple of years ago where we made it look like Leslie was on Wheel of Fortune and she solved the puzzle, and the puzzle was the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live.
Oh, I was hoping it was Family Feud because I like going through some of the classics. What's a man's name that starts with the letter K? Kentucky Fried Chicken. We walk amongst idiots. Name something men like to wear to bed. Condoms. Name something in your house you would yell at if it stopped working. My spouse. Yes. It's a gem.
Spoiler alert, our friend Liam on Jeopardy has won yet again.
Okay, this is a guy who I think they found at Roswell. He looks alien-like, and then Leslie said, I think he's on the spectrum, and now I feel bad.
Well,
I don't mean anything negative.
No, he's an undergrad at the University of Chicago. He's got, this guy is going to go places, but I call him Tween Sheldon. And
yeah, he looks like the Big Bang Theory guy in his youth.
Jim Parsons. Well, like a mix between young Sheldon and Jim Parsons. If they were to do Tween Sheldon, he would be the star of the show.
And he's got that kind of, I am from another planet and I am very smart. He has that kind of feel.
And it was another runaway. So yeah, he could be there for a long time.
Yeah, we also did a Jeopardy parody once upon a...
Who is Todd Pickering?
That was the week you said you didn't know any Todds.
I know. And here I have got this guy on every week, and I don't know any Todds. Oh, God, I'm sorry. All right. So where are we in the program?
Anywhere you want to be, because you're the pilot, it turns out. And so if you want to just nosedive us into a field, turns out
I just might do that. The scariest one was that flight where the pilot decided he was going to commit suicide and crash the plane. So the co-pilot or the pilot, one of them, whoever this guy was, he stayed in there, and the co-pilot had to go use the bathroom. So that guy locked the door and crashed it in the mountain. Remember that one?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is when we found out that, well, in the past, those doors were made out of rice paper, but they have
then they fixed them so you can't get in, but that's not good either. So now when one leaves, a flight attendant has to go in the cockpit to have a fail safe.
Got it.
Shouldn't the pilots have keys? Well, I guess if they had that, everybody would know that. The ne'er-do-wells would know that, and then as they go to the bathroom, they just
mug him on the way to the bathroom.
Boy. Yeah. All right.
Meanwhile, the rest of us are taking our shoes off and being cavity searched, while some, it turns out, influencers are trying to lay out their bins in a real
orderly fashion, then photograph it, then post it. Yeah.
Get out of my way.
Okay. Leslie?
You're not supposed to use it above the neck, Gary.
Not
Don't
above
ever
the
use
neck,
it.
sunshine. Below the neckline, sunshine. We have a video that was sent to us by the house band Bon Journeyed. Would you like to see that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. Help is available. Speak. Okay. The suicide hotline is rolling across the bottom there. I saw that.
You know, we're trying to be
Yeah.
decent members of society. And
Now, if I'm on that plane and the pilot's trying to get back in the cockpit and you see the things descending, I think a bunch of people can rip that door down. If you know death is near, you're going to give it a go, right?
you're going to hear "Let's Roll"
Yeah.
for sure.
You got to try something. You got nothing to lose. All right, Alan, are you ready with that vid?
Kids, why let your parents have all the fun? Now you can party like it's 1989 too, with Bon Journeyed action figures from Retro Toys. Hit the soaring high notes with Tyler on Separate Ways. Lead the crowd in an epic sing-along with Matt on Living on a Prayer. Shred blazing solos with Marty and his blazing lead. Or fire up the keys with Doc. Those melodies are pure magic. And holding it down, Powder on the kit and Brian on bass. This rhythm section rocks. And now, for the first time ever, you can collect them all. Don't forget the official Bon Journey stage playset with drum riser, LED wall, and custom amps, just like the real thing. Bon Journey action figures, each sold separately for kids 14 and up.
And this just in, call today and get a free scooter Build-A-Figure. The band's most trusted roadie. Call today.
Remember, just like your parents, now you can be Bon Journey.
May 3rd in
I want the whole
Mundelein.
set.
Collect the whole set.
Oh,
Have you
man.
noticed these AI-generated action figures are all over the internet now? Have you not noticed it?
Everything's going to be AI. Somebody was pointing out that we thought that artificial intelligence would be used to do all those terrible jobs that nobody wants to do. And now it turns out they're doing all the fun jobs. So, yeah, it's not quite the way we envisioned it.
I got a text from a friend of mine today about this radio station in Australia. They were using an AI-generated DJ for 6 months, and nobody knew.
Well,
Australian radio station secretly used an AI host for 6 months. Secretly, nobody noticed. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Well, these
And
music
they've been trying to
stations-
get rid of humans in that business for ages.
Here's the bit. If you're a music host, unless you have something really extra, selling me Steely Dan and the Doobie Brothers over and over again, there's not a skill to that. And that's going to be in the AI category soon, if everywhere, if not like right now.
So I'm listening to a pop station here locally, and they always throw out those, questions. And then we're going to play some Doja Cat or, the new Lady Gaga song, the Abracadabra song.
Okay.
Which I really don't like.
What's
That's
that?
just me.
You don't like it?
I don't.
You don't like the ga?
Well, I like the Ga, but this song just,
Nothing?
it seems low effort. Maybe it was written by an AI songwriter. But anyway, the question that got thrown out, and here I'm being just like them. Damn it. We become the things we despise.
That's right, Holden Caulfield.
The discussion was the use of the term daddy when an adult calls their father daddy, and that is a terrible red flag now.
If a daughter calls their father daddy,
Yes, that now for some reason, youngsters have now been told that has sexual overtones, and that any adult woman who calls her father daddy is creepy. And it's like, but I called my daddy. It was
a daddy.
endearing.
Yeah.
He was daddy. Yeah. And there was never anything untoward.
Everything is
People are
eggshells
saying
now.
it's creepy. Donna, it's not creepy. Sue, what?
Everything's eggshells. Really, we can't tell you that
You can't
Ted
say
Kennedy
daddy?
jig. We can't say any of this stuff anymore.
And here I was worried that I was saying jig, and that turns out not to be the lyric that we won't sing the song because of. Come on.
All right, Ryan, if you could pop back in, I have sent you a number of pictures that we're going to show right now.
Hey there.
And then Leslie's going to preview what she's giving away this evening.
And I think the best one that'll give you the most reaction first, Gary. So I think this should be good. There you go.
Okay, we talked about this. Listener Anna sent this, and I'm like, maybe you don't know, but I can't stand long decorative fingernails and toenail. Look at this.
No. I can't.
She won't. She won't.
Oh God. Really, it's coming up. It's coming up in my throat.
Okay, next.
All right, Godfather.
Seriously,
Go back to the toenail thing for just a second. What possible reason? Why would you do this?
I don't know.
How do you wear shoes?
And as I noticed, you would have to get larger shoes because you had
or
to
sandals
accommodate the toe. Yeah, well, if you had a toe box, I mean, yeah.
That toenail's
really,
good for,
that is just
that's
so
good
gross.
for salsa dipping too.
This is right up there with watching nature films where animals are eating each other.
Yeah, really. All right, flip it.
Move on.
Godfather's Lounge, Saturday, jerk off contest and fish fry. What is that?
Jerk.
What is it? What,
is it like jerk chicken?
Yeah, it has to be, right?
But why the off then? I mean, I love me some jerk. It's
yeah. Well, we discussed this week how healthy that is for the prostate.
How many times? 20 something a month?
21 a month. Every day is recommended.
There you go.
Maybe the half is missing between jerk and off.
Right.
Jerk half off.
Yeah.
Jerk. Yes, half off. Yeah, okay, yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
Over by Godfathers.
Yes.
And remember all the crazy ass stuff we did as a kid, and we're still here. And we would do this kind of thing, like putting silverware in an outlet.
And fire. We played with fire as kids.
Fire.
That's how I burnt that plastic on my face because I threw it up in the air and looked up.
Everything was
we
dangerous.
were always doing something.
My first shock was taking the bread out of the toaster using a knife while it was still plugged in. That was the first shock. And then there was the fun one of putting a
licking
knife
the batteries
in your tongue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Battery on the tongue. Yeah. And these were sent to me by listener Tom.
Yeah. Jamie's grandparents used to put all their dead batteries in a bowl. And then when the grandkids came over, they got to lick the batteries and figure out which ones were the good ones, which ones were the dead ones.
Good. The battery tester. Listener Tim sent these.
Nice. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah. And we didn't always hunt for our phone because it was this big.
And it had a cord on it.
And a cord on it. You couldn't take it out of the house. Yeah.
The thing you could do is get that extra long cord so you could take the handset down the hall around the corner into your room.
Or get a 30-foot cord on it so you could go in another room. Yeah.
I just watched a movie from the early 2000s, and he hands of course it's a romance, you know me. But anyway,
no, I don't.
Hands her a device. And she's like, I don't even know. Here, put your number in here. I don't even know how this thing works. And I think it was a BlackBerry.
Doesn't matter what color it is. We're all equal.
Okay.
All right. You know how I'm an ice freak. Tap water, it will be white. If you use boiled water, it will be transparent. I like clear ice. But I don't know if I'm going to go through all the process of boiling it and then pouring it into.
And you haven't gone to McDonald's yet.
I have not, but I got to get the cooler out, and it's a whole thing. But I will, and I'm going to get that bag of ice. I really want to see it.
Yeah.
By the time you get it, it's going to be $2.
Yes,
And
exactly.
you'll need the app in order to
Right.
get a really good price on it.
Oh, I got an email from a listener who said if I get the McDonald's app, you get a free Coke with fries or something like that.
Everybody's got an
But
app.
you got to give the app.
Come on, everybody's
Yeah, you got to get the app, and they, you know what they're going to do? They're going to bombard.
Right.
If they know I was in Encino, where I haven't done anything, they're going to figure this out.
And when you go by McDonald's, the app's going to pop up. Hey, Gary, we got some ice for you.
Right, that's the other
pull
thing.
in.
When you're driving by these places, hey, you're nearby, come on in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brian says it's not true that there's still impurities that will not allow the ice to be perfectly clear. And I trust Brian because he knows his cubes and
He's got the big ones.
his orbs and everything in
Oh,
between.
yeah.
Max says battery on the tongue is code. The case of the overcomplicated bong, a Nancy Drew mystery. I love that one.
There you go.
Oh, Lordy.
I posted this on my Facebook page. My boss got a new chair to match his management style. That's pretty much the story for a lot of bosses. Look at that chair.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
And when a demon comes to take your unfit soul, but y'all end up having a lot in common. Hey, pull up a chair. Let's talk. It's not all bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we talked about this guy who got caught in quicksand, and this is
Lake Michigan.
Yeah, it looks like a regular beach, which it is, and he's standing there, and I'm just picturing him going, I can
And his
do.
friend has the rope, right? His friend's trying to hold
Right,
the rope.
he's holding
That guy's-
him,
Can
but
hold
he
it?
doesn't
Is it
look
really
too panicked, does he?
It's nice that they didn't go to the hooks immediately. Here, we're just
Right.
gonna
We've got
like
the hooks.
a whale.
Right, we got the
Yeah.
hook standing by in case you go down to your shoulders. They'll wrap
Uh-huh.
that around your neck.
Uh-huh.
And once again,
Ah.
as children, we thought this was going to be a daily occurrence, along with anvils falling on our heads.
Yeah.
But now you actually see this. Apparently, there was some dredging going on at that time, so it changed the consistency of the shoreline.
Leslie, I just had an Arnold Palmer.
I'm doing it now.
Alan, you brought up this in the opening. You're kidding about Disney World and Halloween, right?
No, we've talked about this every end of April.
I know.
Going
you
all the way
said they're
back.
going to start in August.
Oh yeah, I've been to the Halloween. In fact, the Headless Horseman video was from the first week of August 2 years ago, and it was 100 degrees at 8 o'clock that night.
Yeah, it's April and we're already talking about Halloween.
Well, this is going to be like that haunted house that the Sheridans went to for
the Easter haunted house,
where it is now
Right.
a brick and mortar, and it's going to be a year-round venue. So with that, you can it's Mother's Day haunted house. It's Halloween. They don't have to. They can do like crazed Uncle Sam's and stuff like that for the 4th of July and fireworks injuries. Oh my gosh, I'm already figuring out how
You're
to do each
workshopping
holiday.
it.
Yeah.
My favorite.
I gotta go to work for these people.
I want to do Juneteenth haunted house. Is that a thing?
You did, and then
Juneteenth.
Okay.
I dated her in high school. Juneteenth was my high school girlfriend. Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
Really.
This is a confusing one that's coming up here.
I don't think so. Lost my weed in a series of small fires.
He looks happy.
I was
You know
watching
what
this.
he needs the overcomplicated bong.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
I was watching the Seinfeld episode today where Newman and Kramer had homeless people pulling their rickshaw from 1998. Do you think you could do that today?
Ooh.
No.
You know, once again, people are so and there's value in doing away with some of the ick of the past, but to the point where We're killing humor, man.
Well, okay, let me run this by you. I got an email from listener Jim. He sent me this story. This mayor in a California town wants to give the homeless as much fentanyl as they want to kill them off.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh.
That's how far it's going.
That solves the problem. Hey, speaking of humor, though, and we were talking about Airplane earlier, are you seeing the promos for or the trailers for the new Liam Neeson movie coming out?
I haven't seen it.
It's a new Naked Gun movie, isn't it?
Yep. And
It's
it
Naked
looks
Gun?
like it's going to be, yep. And Liam Neeson is the son of the Leslie Nielsen character.
Uh-huh.
And all of it's like the new generation. And it looks like it's going to be just as ridiculous as the original. And golly, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, Liam Neeson, come on. He's Mr. Action Hero doing comedy. This is going to be great.
Well, the whole
But that was
Airplane
the
Naked
whole
Gun
Leslie
premise
Nielsen
was, yeah.
thing.
Everybody they
Leslie
hired
Nielsen,
for Airplane and Naked Gun were dramatic actors, became known for comedy after they did this movie.
Yeah.
I had Liam Neeson. No, I had not Liam. I had what's his name on the other guy.
Leslie
Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen on the show, and he came in and he had a device where he squeezed it and it would fart during the whole
fart
interview.
machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, you like that? Yeah.
I was treated to that.
Yep.
And one of my favorite New York memories. I was outside Letterman's studio on Broadway at the Ed Sullivan when Leslie Nielsen was a guest, and to have him enter, they had him plow into a whole row of garbage cans in a car that looked like the one from Naked Gun.
Nice beaver.
He makes me proud to be named Leslie. Thank you.
All
I
right.
got a couple more.
Let's hear them.
Speaking of Andy Griffiths, is this
okay? Yes, I was sent this by a listener. Franklin Canyon in California is where they did the opening for Andy Griffith, but they also did all those other things, which the Rolling Stones album cover.
Yep.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, some Star Trek stuff.
Yep.
Purple Rain had a scene there. I visited that, and I'm standing right where Opie and Andy were. It's so cool.
Does it still look like it? I mean, when you were there, it looked like.
Well, it was a little more overgrown 60 years later, but it's still, you could feel that. You got the feel that this is where Opie and Andy are walking down.
Huh. Cool.
And Marlo Thomas is getting 41% of that.
Yeah. Okay.
I love. All right. Here's the deal. I support and love you till the end of time, and you give me the cheese stick. Nice deal. Worth it.
Thank
yes.
You. There you go.
Yes.
Did I hear Flynn's collar, by the way?
Yeah, he just knocked all the
pillows
He just knocked all the pillows off the couch. That's what he does.
God, we love our pets.
So this is going on in Green Bay. If anybody's been watching something up there.
That's the NFL draft.
Yep.
You've got to watch this show. Just it's a comedy show because the players that get drafted, they have the spring bling. They bring all this. They're really into the whole show busy thing of it, and their families are all.
Is it like
out.
wrestling now?
It pretty much is.
It is. Yeah. And then Roger gets booed, right? Every time he
Roger
comes
Goodell,
out.
the NFL commissioner, every time he comes out to make an announcement, gets booed. Guy's making $45 million a year. This is the thing where people hate the commissioners of any sport. That must be a dealio. So he gets booed. And my friend said to me, did you see the son of Dion Sanders, where he had a whole room made up because he thought he was going to get drafted in the first round and he didn't? So he's got this whole thing ready to go. Nothing.
Oh.
Look at this.
Oh, that's stingy.
Ouch.
Yep.
Apparently, there's some backlash.
Nepotism doesn't fly in the
Well,
NFL.
that's working. My friend said that's working against him because it's a little too much. Although he's a good player in college, doesn't matter. I don't know, but you got to watch. I think there are 2 more rounds tonight and tomorrow night.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to watch it for 20 minutes to see this pageant of weirdness.
And then this is, do you remember these? I saw this and I thought, wow, that's a flashback too, where you'd have to put money in your room in the hotel. That was the payphones in the whole room.
I never saw a phone like that.
No?
No.
Yeah,
actually, you put money in that phone.
Yeah, because the coin up there in the top right is the coin slot.
Yeah, I used one of these in England once.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that.
Oh.
Wow.
I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and he got a call. He got a collect call from a former colleague.
From 1982? Collect call from 1982. Will you accept?
It was an older woman, and I didn't even know you could make a collect call
From
anymore.
prison? Was it from prison?
And that's what I asked. Was she in jail? No. She somehow figured out a way, and he went, I'm not going to take a collect call. Is this a prank? And he hung up and then called again, and he took it, and it was legit. She was calling collect.
Oh, God,
wow.
That's funny.
They said lower end motels had these.
With a vibrating bed, right?
We were staying
Yes,
in a nice
I remember
place.
those. Those were a treat when we had as a kid. Put coins in those and let those go.
I'll bet you did. That was your Dutch rudder.
It was my Dutch rudder.
So Ryan sends me this thing. Okay, we talk about Dutch wives. Do you know what a Dutch rudder is? And I didn't. And
Google that. There's a show. There's a show about it that it was, and it's some.
Okay, here's your Google assignment: Ted Kennedy jig, eggs Danny Thomas style, and Dutch rudder.
There you go. That'll keep you busy on a weekend.
Wow,
that's it.
All right, that was good. Leslie, you want to preview what you're giving away?
I got to figure out what what our hashtag's going to be. We've talked about a lot.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we did.
You know what? Why don't we just keep it simple and we do hashtag live.
Wow. An homage to the
And share
Puerto
it with
Rican
your
doorbell.
friends. There you go.
Hashtag live.
Give Alan a minute. Oh, look, Alan.
He's
Doggone, those
he's
are
on
some
it.
fast fingers. So I showed you already. We're going to give away a Bond Journey t-shirt. No collectible action figures yet. But anyway, what else do we have? We got some stickers to give away. Apple and a Yeti sticker. Gary's going to have to get a new cooler for all that ice.
For my McDonald's ice.
Yeah. Did Greg send us these or say, oh golly, I'm sorry, you guys. I should label everything, but look, it's some cool dino band-aids. We love the dino band.
Gotta have the band-aids.
Band-aids are awesome. Oh, in addition to the Bon Journey t-shirt, we do have Oh Yes swag to go with it. And I found this from Scott's Vintage Antiques and Collectibles. Talk about an antique. It's a button from the Purdue July 1981 Joy, Illinois Synod. So there, put that on your jacket.
And smoke it.
We got cool little like squishies and those things that you can slap on the walls. And Ryan's got us sponges, but they don't look like sponges till you put them in water. Tracy from Wisconsin, God love you, girl. She gives us bendables. She gives us gliders and ball liquors. Ball liquors. Scott also provides us with fortune-telling fish.
All right.
Things. How's this for a blast from the past? I'm giving away 2 cubes. We were talking about cubes, ice cubes. These are those disco cubes that you can put in your drinks. They are not intended for anything warm. So put it only in your cold drinks to give it extra bling. Oh, hi, Teeny. What else do I have here? A really fun postcard that says your name here on your own headstone. And here's...
We'll put the Pope on there.
Coin purse. I didn't put the shiny dime in there yet, but you'll get a shiny dime because you can't get one.
There it is. Hello.
Alan provides us with
refrigerator magnet.
And finally, the prize that started it all, your very own
the
One
condom. And
Hashtag
the dragon remains under your roof for a while, right?
I
You can't let go of that dragon.
It's just so cool.
I know.
Oh, I think I need to charge it. And that's what's neat too. This is, yep, it just needs to be recharged because I had it on while I was working at the desk here. So
okay. But it's still going to stay with you until further notice. All right.
Charging my mellow, motherfucker.
Oh, hey, angry mama. Okay.
Easy. There's room for everybody. Okay.
Angry. Yes. Ooh. All right. You have stories.
I do have stories.
Good.
This one a little lengthy, but there's a
I'll
lot
notify the
to
affiliates
on here. Yeah, please. It was an Uber ride one family in Canada won't forget. A Toronto mom named Julia, that's all the information we have on her, along with her boyfriend and 4 children, took an Uber home from a basketball game and were in the process of getting everyone out of the car. Somehow signals got crossed with the driver as the parents removed the younger ones in their car seat as Julia's 5-year-old slept in the back seat. The driver apparently missed the memo. As mom and dad took the car seats into the garage, with plans to dash back for the sleeping child, mom and dad turned around and saw that the Uber was gone. Mom immediately called Uber corporate and was told, unfortunately, that the company wants paperwork before they go giving out information about their drivers. So at that point, Julia just called the police. And even they were told that forms would have to be filled out for Uber to connect with the driver. So the police had to resort to kind of old-fashioned policing to track down the driver and the missing child, which they eventually did. Uber says they're going to look into their policies and methods to see if changes need to be made. In the meantime, they're issuing the family a $10 credit toward their next ride.
All right, let me get this straight. So Uber has a lost and found box, and there's a bunch of cell phones, wallets, and a baby.
And a sleeping 5-year-old.
I don't know. You look in the box, see if you notice anything. Why didn't they have the baby in the car seat?
Well, no, they had babies in the car. The 4 kids. It was the oldest, the 5-year-old, who was way in the back asleep. So I'm getting the feeling that this was a van or an SUV kind of arrangement. But with that, I imagine them going to the lost and found. Is this your 5-year-old? No, that's not mine. That's somebody else's.
All right.
Mine had blonde hair.
Right. All right. The 5-year-old goes back in the box.
Maybe their parents will show up eventually. A mother in Texas is in trouble with the law for providing Jello shots to her child's 5th grade class. The mom says she purchased the Jello shots off Facebook. There's your problem right there. Not realizing that they contained vodka, but she found out the hard way during her child's Christmas party for the 5th graders at Jones Elementary in Tyler. A few shots in and the kids started getting inebriated and sick. Luckily, no one was seriously injured. Following the subsequent investigation, the mom was arrested earlier this month and charged with injury to a child. Her court date has not yet been set. In the meantime, she has been banned from all school functions.
Charged with stupidity, I hope. Wait a minute. You got to go on Facebook to find Jello shots?
How do you buy Jello shots? I guess Marketplace, but Facebook Marketplace doesn't seem like the place to buy things that are fresh.
Yeah, you want to go out onto the internet to buy stuff that you're bringing to a school.
And Jello shots in general should kind of raise some red flags.
Right.
Here, instead, I've got these fluids in test tubes. Yeah.
What grade is this?
5th.
Yeah. We need 10-year-olds doing Jello shots, even if they're not alcoholic. You gave up Jello shots for Lent.
I did.
And now you're back and you're feeling pretty good about it.
Well, and I know that you don't put pineapple in them because it won't gel properly. Isn't that the old story? Something like that. There's something you're not supposed to put in Jello. But anyway, and finally, well, you know what? I don't like this story. It's
what?
Oh no, I do. You know what the hell? It is effed up. Let's face it. A woman in Japan is facing animal cruelty charges for dropping her pet chihuahua from a 6th floor of an apartment building in Nagoya. The 52-year-old named Kaori Araki and a friend were drinking when the topic turned to Araki's 19-year-old dog. 19-year-old dog. Out of the blue, Ms. Araki announced that she was going to drop the dog off the balcony. And she did. Amazingly, though, the dog survived, but with serious brain damage. The friend called police, leading to Ms. Araki's arrest. She's offering no motive for her actions.
The motive is she's a frickin' asshole. Top of the hour, news, traffic, weather, and sports back in 15. They should drop her off the balcony.
Thanks for stopping by The Loop, FM 98, WLUP Chicago.
And there's Ryan in the back seat in his car seat on the way home from the hospital after his birth.
You know, funny you say she should be dumped off the 6th floor of an apartment building. That seems to be the general consensus.
Yes.
Okay. But
the dog is 19. 19. A dog that old. That's amazing.
And the fact that, I mean, that is my bouncing little chihuahua. I mean, literally, it was bouncing, this chihuahua.
Ugh, idiots. All right. Thank you, Leslie. Let's hit that button. Give away your stuff.
Live,
we ready, Alan?
Live. So much cool stuff.
It always is.
I think Alan left.
Yes.
No. I can't turn on my mic and push all those buttons at the same time. It doesn't work that way.
You do have fast fingers. We saw how quickly.
Hey, now
that hashtag.
None of our
But
business.
it's all a matter of which screen I happen to be on when you say something.
I know. Well, here we go. Somebody's going to take.
He was
all
looking
that.
up the lyrics to the Ted Kennedy.
Yeah, he's
jig.
looking up Eggs Danny Thomas style.
Eggs Danny Thomas.
Here we go. Live. Who's gonna win? Mark H.
Mark.
Alan, tell Mark H what to do.
Mark, send your mailing address to Garry Meier Show at GarryMeier.com or text it to 773-888-2157. Regular charges apply. And Leslie will go down to her favorite post office and talk to her favorite postal worker who will put it into the USPS system. And it'll get to you when it gets to you.
And with that, know that the return address that you see on those packages is not an address that you should send any correspondences to, because it is, in fact, the address of the Westmont, Illinois post office.
All right.
They don't want your stuff.
All right. That's it. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Leslie. It's time for the cannoli coming down the aisle. It's delicious. Please take it. Leslie, tell us about the Schnauzer this weekend.
Well, I've learned that if your schnauzer's in the cockpit, that the pilot can do anything he wants with it because he's in charge.
Yes. All right. That's it. Thank you for watching. Back on Monday, the tail of the plane is boop, and it's 3 in the green. Gear is down, flaps are down. The GarrForce, the voice of the globe, America's podcast, has landed.
And that's all the news and nonsense for this week, GarrForce. Thank you for streaming.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Please be sure to like and share the show on all of your social networks.
More eyeballs.
If you're not already a subscriber, show your support by subscribing to GarrForceLIVE YouTube channel. For those watching a replay, that button is right here. All the rest of our episodes, right here.
Boom.
Hello?
Shakalaka.
Did you click something?